with apple picking season right around the corner, I'm going to be doing an apple toffee crumble for you guys today. I've paired up with SweetLeaf again, so it means that you're not going to get a ton of sugar in this recipe to weigh you down, but the combination of apple and toffee is so amazing, and it's so much easier to make than apple pie because you don't have to deal with the crust or anything. So yeah, let's head to the kitchen and let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the crumble topping first, and I have 1 1/4 cup of oats, and I'm going to put in a cup of flour. Now this is an area where you can add all of the good for you ingredients in there. So you can put in a couple tablespoons of chia seed, a couple tablespoons of flax seed for crunch, and I've done that before and it's always really good. So this is SugarLeaf, and it was a product by SweetLeaf that I hadn't seen in the supermarkets before, but you can see it looks very much just like sugar granules, and what they ended up doing was mixing in a little bit of cane sugar in with the stevia just to balance out that bitter after flavor, which I think is ingenious because I'm kind of always complaining about that anyways, and I end up doing it myself. This is Taster's Choice, so I mixed in a half a teaspoon of instant coffee granules, and I think that the coffee flavor really elevates that kind of toffiness in the crumble. So just a dash of cinnamon, and then you mix that all together. And if you want apple crumble fast, this topping right here is something that you can make ahead of time, and then you can put it in a bag or whatnot. So this is Earth Balance, and I scooped out about 8 tablespoons of it, and I put it in the freezer just because I think that harder chunks are a little bit easier to work with. It kind of mimics cold butter. And I'm just taking a fork and I am pushing that into the topping, and then eventually using my hands because I think it's a little bit easier. You could also do this with chilled coconut oil, and that will function the same way. So you can see all of those nice big chunks are going to be nice and crunchy in the end. I added 3/4 of a teaspoon of SweetLeaf's Toffee Sweet Drops, and that will provide that nice toffee flavor in the end. And then I'm putting in about a 1/4 cup of chopped almonds, and once again that just goes with the crunchy toffee topping, and it'll all come together really nicely. So there you go, there you guys have it for the crumble topping. You can just set that in the freezer right now, or actually you can set it in the freezer and make that ahead of time if you are doing a dinner party or something. So I want to show you guys how I kind of core and peel apples, because I used to do this at the bakery all the time, and towards Thanksgiving season there would be just a ton of people ordering apple pie, so I'd have to do boxes and boxes of apples. So essentially I take a melon baller and I scoop out the tops and the bottoms, and then I take a vegetable peeler and I kind of just do kind of that top and bottom end until it's a little bit more flat. Then when I go to peel the sides, I don't have to worry about missing any spots. I can just go up and down really quickly, and then I have a peeled apple that is, without any peel. It's a good tip. So I eventually cut these guys in half again, and then I use the melon baller again for both halves just to scoop out that core. I know it's a lot of melon balling, but I worked out the times, and it actually comes out much quicker that way, and you get much neater pieces of apple. So I'm cutting them about a 1/4 of an inch each, so that they're nice and even and that they cook nice and evenly. Next, I'm going to add the juice of about 1 lemon, and that depends on how big your lemon is and how tart your apples are, so just mix that around. And then I'm going to go in with 4 teaspoons of that SweetLeaf sugar again, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I love this because it's starting to smell all really nice, and then a dash of nutmeg, depending on if you like it or not. This is tapioca starch actually, and I prefer using that over flour because I think it keeps the juices kind of clearer and it's not as heavy, so I always use kind of more of a starch rather than a flour. So you're just gonna kind of toss that gently and coat it all over, because as the apples release juices, you want all of them to kind of make contact with that starch so that the juices will thicken up. And also you don't want pockets of like random cinnamon in case if you don't like cinnamon. So 9-inch baking pie pan, and I'm just throwing this all in, and even though it looks haphazard most of the time when people do this crumble, if you want a good crumble, like if you want a nice round top, if you don't want there to be like jaggedy edges, you do want to kind of like press down and make sure that everything is in its place. And I know that you don't have to go so far as like make concentric circles, but it kind of is like that. Like if you want a nice round top, you want to just kind of place it that way. And then of course you have the juices on the bottom with all of that nice starch that will help thicken this up. So just scoop that all in and put it in that way. And then you can see how nicely everything is. And remember again to push it down because there will be air pockets in between. So this has been in the freezer for just a couple minutes, so I just want to loosen that up. But you can see how big those crumbles are, and as they bake up, it's going to become nice and crunchy pieces of toffee with that toffee SweetLeaf and also the crunchy almonds as well. So this is going to be a yummy apple crumble. I know that there looks to be a lot. Everything will kind of bake down. So into a 350-degree oven this goes. I would say about 45 minutes, but you want to check it at probably like 35, see how it looks like. And I am just going to show you how to gauge this. So you do want to make sure that everything is bubbling. It just ensures that everything is cooking, that the color on the crumble is a nice golden brown that you want, and you want to take a knife and kind of stick it into the apples. Yeah, you do want it to have a little give, but not, you know, too much, or otherwise it's overly done. So anyone just check out those big toffee crumbles. I love them. They look so good. It just pairs perfectly with the softened cinnamon apples right below. Anyways, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It hardly contains any added sugars in it at all, but it is my apple toffee crumble. It is going to be perfect for apple season coming up when you can pick a ton of apples and then make this really yummy and healthy treat. So as usual, if you happen to like this recipe and you want to see more, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!